You mean to tell me that the White House is now saying that federal furlough employees will not get back pay? If that were me, I would be outraged because federal employees did not ask for that. And especially when Trump back in 2019 signed into law that they will receive back pay. So, what's the problem now? I will literally be outraged because how do they think people are supposed to make a living or even live without getting some type of pay? Y'all, this is just getting out of hand. And like I said before in one of my other videos, I fear that this shutdown will be long.
As if things weren't worrying enough for the hundreds of thousands of US federal workers, including members of the military who've been sent home without pay, not knowing whether or not they'll have their jobs back after this shutdown has ended. They're now hearing talk that they might not get the back pay they were expecting for that time out of work. So the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, says there is legal advice floating around that the government doesn't have to pay those federal workers for the time that they didn't work. That has been the case during every other shutdown, but this one appears it could be different. We don't know how seriously the idea is being taken by the government and the White House, but it's certainly an idea that's being floated. So we're talking about roughly 750,000 federal workers expected to be furloughed during this shutdown, according to the Congressional Budget Office. The longest shutdown was something like 35 days. This one looks like it could be even longer because politicians just can't find a way through it, basically. Meanwhile, federal workers are wondering how on earth they're going to pay their bills.
I want us to be so specific on this, and I have come across a lot of videos on the TikTok. Why are the government of US not paying the federal workers? Why are they not paying them? Why ain't they? Somebody has been working in the office for a while, and then don't give them the paycheck. Why? So tell me, how will somebody survive in this economy? The house rent is shooting, the food stuffs and anything to be eaten is skyrocketing. Everything is becoming expensive in America today. Everything is now expensive. And tell me how you're not paying somebody has been working for you for some time. Now you're not paying them. For what reasons? This global subscribe, share, leave a comment in the comment because I want to know why aren't they paying them? And also, they are firing some of them that are being laid off. So federal is laying off their workers. And also, the ones who are remaining here, they are not being paid. How will somebody survive? With all due respect, this is just. I don't know if this, and I don't know if what's happening, but America is just collapsing every single day because people are going to become poor, homeless, jobless. So you just die of health, not eating healthy. If you haven't been saving for a while, you lose everything. So this video is about federal workers are not getting paid. They're not getting their paychecks. No pay. Why? No, I'm not paying them. I've been working for you for a while. Subscribe. I have here videos, multiple of them. There are many, but that's what they meant here. How people are viewing this whole thing according to their own perspectives. How are they seeing this whole thing? So subscribe, share, and leave a comment in the comment section. And let's start the video.
A lot of American families are struggling, and they're going to struggle even more with this threat. Speaker Mike Johnson just made it very clear that they can find legal ways not to get a payback. This is crazy. Not only are you forcing them not to work over because you want to give your buddies, your billionaire buddies to be exact, some tax cuts and price up on premiums, but now you're saying, no, that time that I told you not to work, you're not going to get paid. People rely on those paychecks. We live in this sad reality where we live paycheck to paycheck, whether you're federal or not. And now you're telling them they can't work, but you're not going to get paid either? At this point, they're unemployed. How would Congress feel if the American people had the right to choose, oh yeah, we're just not going to pay you guys. We're going to make sure that you guys don't get paid for months. How would Congress feel in that situation? This is playing with American lives. This is playing flat out politics. Oh, well, if Democrats don't get on the table. No. They're not getting on the table because you're literally threatening the very soul of our country right now. raising premiums skyrocketing on people. And I'm also getting comments where people are like, well, mine have already been risen. Imagine if they fold on this. We need adults in the table, and we need them here fast.
Trump is apparently trying to figure out how to break the law so that government employees who are currently furloughed will not get back pay. That means that a massive amount of instability has been created for all of these federal workers. And I know that a lot of MAGA are celebrating about this because they hate government employees. They think of government employees as slackers, as fraudsters, as people undeserving of security. Here are the facts. The vast majority of federal workers are patriots. They are taking low-paying jobs relative to the private sector because they have a desire to serve their country, to serve you. And speaking of service, 1/3 of the federal employees that Donald Trump is trying to screw over to make sure that they can't feed their families, they served in the military. They're veterans. When you see MAGA out there celebrating how Donald Trump is trying to rip off federal workers, just remind them that 1/3 of them served in the military. Donald Trump is going out of his way because he does not like veterans. He has always gone out of his way to insult us, to demean us, and to use us as props, even raising nonprofit money for veterans that he then spends on himself. It's part of the reason that no one in the Trump family can run a nonprofit in the state of New York anymore, because they're fraudsters. When you see MAGA on this app or any other talking about how they're so glad that these federal workers are not going to be able to feed their families, remind them that they're doing this to veterans. Remind them that they're celebrating making veterans suffer. And remind them that Republicans control the entire federal government right now. This shutdown is the Trump shutdown. Donald Trump shut the government down so that he could strip Americans of health care. Donald Trump could reopen the government if he chose to, but he doesn't want to. He wants to cause the suffering. He wants to hurt veterans. This is nothing new. It's what he's been trying to do his entire life.
Hey y'all, I got some really quick news for you. So you know that we're in the middle of a federal government shutdown, right? Here in South Carolina, over 25,000 people are going without paychecks due to this federal shutdown. Well, today, House Speaker Mike Johnson held a press conference and said that he's received word that those folks, federal workers, who are furloughed or going without pay right now, even though they're working, may not receive back pay. So what does that mean for real? It means that hardworking Americans who are federal employees showing up to work even still during this shutdown will not be paid for the work that they put in. And they're not being paid not because we couldn't get to a deal. They're not getting paid because these Republicans in Congress have decided to put politics over their livelihoods. So in my opinion, placing political gain above the people may not be against the law or unethical, but it is definitely immoral, because these folks are giving one of the most precious things that a person can give. That's their labor and their time, both of which you cannot get back, even when that politician receives the political gain they're seeking. Hey y'all, listen to House Speaker Mike Johnson words for yourself. Like, comment, share, and subscribe so that we can keep folks up to date with local, national, and global news. Thank you.
With regard to whether the furloughed civilian employees of the federal government will receive back pay, it is true that in previous shutdowns, many or most of them have been paid for the time that they were furloughed. But there is new legal analysis. I don't know the details. I just saw a headline this morning. I'm not read in on it, and I haven't spoken to the White House about it. But there are some legal analysts who are saying that that may not be appropriate or necessary in terms of the law requiring that back pay be provided. So I'm sure that'll be there will be a lot of discussion about that. But there are legal analysts who think that that is not something that government should do.
Someone who has been working for overtime is now not getting paid. The office is laying up to 25k workers. 25k workers. Tell me, how will some people survive in this economy of America? You know, in other part of the world, you find that everything in out here, it's just affordable. Life is just affordable. Nobody is just spending too much on things. Let me use an example of Kenya. You find that somebody who is living in a two-bedroom house in Kenya is living the best life he has. Compared to America, you can be paying up to $200,000 and still living in a house that is maybe a single room. So Americans, tell me in the comment section, how are you surviving in America? Because we are just viewing everything on the media that is posting. How are you surviving? Just deep down, how are you surviving out there?
It's not just federal workers. I've been hearing from small business owners or government contractors that are sole proprietors who do business with the government. They are suffering, and they're not going to get back pay.
I never thought about that.
So this is really important. First of all, you got to look at your own finances. Do I have an emergency reserve fund? Someone sent me a note after last week and said, well, maybe I'll just put some of my bills on my credit card because I'm going to get the money back. Don't do that. That's a slippery slope. If you have an emergency reserve fund, this is an emergency. Tap that fund. You may need to borrow money. Maybe you own a house. You can have a line of credit on your house. Maybe you look at your retirement account as a source. But whatever is going on in your life, please don't hide from the people you owe money to. Notify your credit card company. Notify your landlord. Notify your mortgage company. Hey, I'm impacted by this. I might be late. I might miss a payment. They're much more likely to work with you if you communicate with them.
The government's been shut down for about a week, which means hundreds of thousands of federal employees are being forced to work without pay, and many more are being furloughed. Not a good situation, but at least they had guaranteed back pay to look forward to when the government reopened. That was because of a little law called the Government Employee Fair Treatment Act of 2019. That was signed after Donald Trump set a record for the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, 35 days. He signed that law. I can't emphasize enough that Donald Trump signed that law. But now Donald Trump is saying that law has been misconstrued and that it doesn't guarantee back pay. The reason for this doesn't make a lot of sense because all these federal workers are needed to make the government run. But if you are telling these people that they have no back pay to look forward to, then why the hell would they keep working for you? He's basically holding federal workers' paychecks hostage and trying to blame Democrats for it. But let me know what you think. Do you think this is unfair? Do you think these federal workers should get their back pay? Should there be a law that protects it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll keep an eye on this if you want to.
Also, I have here some comments on my channel. Somebody is called Cream at one Cream that now all these people are defaulting on loans. That's great for the bank and economy. Time of BlackRock to swap in and buy up housing property. You know, today buying a house in America, having a home in America is a luxury. Having 3 meals a day is a luxury. And can you imagine? America is a dream life for so many people in the world. And people are willing to move to America because America is a dream come true, or a dream for so many people in the world. But now, having 3 meals a day is a luxury in America. Having a home of your own, bought a home in America, it's a luxury in America today. Today, America is a luxury. So, is American dream dead? I mean, is a dream dead? Because now all of you, some of you, are shifting to other part of the world to live their dream life. So, you are living your American dream life in Africa. You are living your American dream life in Thailand. You are living your American dream life in Mexico. You are living your American dream life in South Africa. How is America? Where is America heading actually? After Trump shutting down the government, and now people have been losing jobs every now and again. What is his plan? What is their plan as a government? Republican, Democrats. Somebody said that none of them control the Republic, because I have here a comment about somebody who's talking about the Republican and the federal, and he was like commenting, saying that none of them is controlling. I have here a comment. Let me just read it for you. I hope I find it. I just read it for you right now. Here. Neither of them is maybe trying to control the government. They sold out on both sides. So every party got its own share. Republican got their share. Democrat got their own share. What we see is a show, and they are the narrative puppets, red and blue. Whoever vote red can now stand out and cry regret, but losing everything. But if you are so wise, I don't know that you would have voted blue, but why did you vote red? Because right now you are suffering to the highest unexpected level.
It's day 3 of the government shutdown. My husband is a federal employee and an essential one, so he is going to work like usual, but he will not be getting paid for the foreseeable future while this is happening. Government shutdowns are not a new thing in the US, not a new thing to us either, but there is usually like a clause or some sort of like budget thing where they do still pay essential employees that have to continue to go to work during these shutdowns, like TSA, the United States military, they would still be getting paid. That is not the case this time. So these employees, my husband included, still have to go to work and will not be getting paid. And it looks like this one might last a while. So I guess that is why we've been saving money while there is an emergency fund. You know, you never think, oh yeah, like I'm saving my emergency fund just in case the government shuts down, and they just tell my husband he still has to go to work, but they're not going to pay him for that work. And I guess it's kind of nice that I make some money from TikTok as well, which would not subsidize his income by any means. As you guys know, I share his income on here. But it's better than having no money coming in, right? So I might not be doing his paycheck breakdowns anytime soon.
This is Global Tales. Subscribe, share, and leave a comment to this video. I know you have many things to watch, but you choose to watch here because I don't know what sent you here or something. But may God bless you. May God restore you what you are just lost as an American person. I'm wishing all the best in your life in America. Health and peace be with you.